What if I told you that the difference between financial stress and financial freedom isn't luck, it's leverage? Today, I want to tell you the story of a 27-year-old warehouse worker named Marcus, a man who thought he was stuck forever. Until one conversation changed how he saw money. Before we begin, drop a comment below. What city are you watching from? And what time is it right now? Let's get into it. Marcus was 27 years old and worked the night shift at a distribution warehouse outside Dallas, Texas. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't irresponsible. He wasn't reckless with money, but he was tired. Every 2 weeks, his paycheck hit his account, and within days, it disappeared. Rent, car payment, insurance, groceries, gas. He tried saving, he really did, but watching his savings account grow by $150, maybe $200 a month, felt like trying to fill a swimming pool with a spoon. One night during his break, he looked around the warehouse floor. Everyone there had been working the same job for 10, 15, even 25 years, and something inside him whispered, "Is this it?" One Sunday afternoon, Marcus visited his uncle Robert. Now, Robert wasn't flashy. No Lamborghini, no giant mansion. But he didn't work a job anymore. He owned rental properties, a small car wash, and a few online investments. More importantly, he had time. Time to travel. Time to relax. Time to live. Marcus finally asked him the question he'd been holding in for months. How do you stop trading time for money? Robert leaned back in his chair and smiled. "You don't stop working," he said. "You stop working alone." Marcus frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means," Robert replied, "you build systems that work when you're not there." That night, Marcus didn't get a motivational speech. He got 7 rules. 7 rules that would reshape his future. First, Robert said, you need capital, not credit cards, not loans, cash. No investing before stability. He told Marcus to build a $1,000 emergency fund, then 3 to 6 months of living expenses, then start investing. No risky moves when you're one flat tire away from disaster. Marcus went home and got serious. He cut subscriptions, stopped eating out, picked up 2 extra warehouse shifts a month. 6 months later, he had his emergency fund complete. For the first time in his life, he felt stable. Not rich. Stable. And that changes everything. Marcus had been planning to upgrade his car. His friends were driving newer trucks, posting vacations, buying expensive watches. Robert told him something that hit hard. Poor people buy symbols, wealthy people buy assets. A car loses value, designer shoes lose value, the newest iPhone loses value. But an asset puts money back into your pocket. Marcus kept his old car. He stopped trying to impress people who weren't paying his bills. That decision alone saved him nearly $8,000 in 1 year. When Marcus finally had $5,000 saved beyond his emergency fund, he was excited. He wanted crypto, stocks, something big. Robert shook his head. Buy something that pays you monthly. They started small. Marcus purchased vending machines and placed them in 2 local auto repair shops. Nothing glamorous, but every month he collected profit. $380, then $520, then $750. For the first time in his life, Marcus made money while he was asleep. And that feeling? It's addictive. Marcus didn't quit his job. He didn't go all in. He reinvested. Every dollar from the vending machines went back into expanding. More locations, better machines, better placement deals. Within a year, he had 8 machines across the city, then 12, then 18. His warehouse job was still paying his bills, but his machines were building his freedom. Robert warned him, never depend on one income source. Once the vending income became steady, Marcus added something new. He bought a small duplex with an FHA loan, lived in 1 unit, rented out the other. His tenant covered most of the mortgage. 2 years later, he repeated the process. Then again. Was It easy? No. Was it fast? No, but it worked. When Marcus's passive income passed $3,000 a month, he wanted to celebrate. Robert told him, "Enjoy success. Just don't sabotage it." Marcus set a rule. He could spend 25% of passive income on lifestyle upgrades. The rest, reinvested. He finally upgraded his car, not to impress others, but because he could afford it without stress. That's real freedom. There were setbacks. One vending location canceled. One tenant stopped paying. A machine broke down. Marcus wanted to quit more than once, but Robert reminded him, wealth is built quietly. Consistency beats intensity. Marcus kept learning, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching the market. 5 years passed, and then something incredible happened. Marcus no longer needed his warehouse job. His assets paid him more than his paycheck ever had. At 32 years old, Marcus drove to visit Uncle Robert again, this time not as a frustrated worker, but as a financially independent man. He didn't own a mansion. He wasn't a millionaire influencer, but he owned 24 vending machines, 3 rental properties, a growing investment portfolio, and most importantly, he owned his time. Marcus looked at his uncle and said, "You didn't give me money. You gave me perspective." Robert smiled. "No," he said. "You gave yourself discipline." This story isn't really about vending machines or rental properties or side hustles. It's about mindset. Here are the 7 rules again. Build stability before investing. Stop buying status symbols. Buy assets that produce cash flow. Start small and scale wisely. Create multiple income streams. Reward yourself responsibly. Stay patient and never stop learning. Financial freedom in America today isn't about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you make. You don't need to win the lottery. You need discipline. You need a plan. You need consistency. 5 years from now, you'll either wish you started today, or you'll wish you didn't wait. The choice is yours. If this story inspired you, comment below. Which of the 7 rules hit you the hardest? And if you're serious about building income that works for you, hit that subscribe button. Your freedom journey doesn't start when you're ready. It starts when you decide.